Restorative yoga for hips is a lot different from other hip opening yoga classes. In this video, you're not going to be intensely stretching tight hips or forcing them to open. In fact, you will be doing the opposite. If you're curious to see how this will work, watch and practice until the end of the video and you may be amazed at how your hips feel. In this restorative yoga sequence for hips, your body will be completely supported by the props so that your tight hips can relax and soften their grip. Give me a like if you are into this effortless way of practicing yoga for hips, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I post new restorative yoga videos every week, and hit that bell notification so that you get alerted when I post them. The props that you need for this restorative yoga practice are a flat bolster and a round bolster, or substitute large pillows, 5 blankets, a yoga strap, or you could use a belt, a yoga block, hand towel, and an eye pillow, which is optional. And if you don't have these props exactly, get creative with things from around your house. Gather up your props and meet me back here on your yoga mat. Our first restorative yoga pose is constructive rest position. So grab a blanket and your hand towel. Place the hand towel folded over into a square at one end of your mat, and unfold your blanket a couple times until it resembles a long, wide blanket fold, and place that at the middle of your mat. This is going to be some extra softness for your spine and your hips. Smooth that out so that you're not irritated by anything underneath your hips. Then finally, as you sit on the blanket, we'll grab the block and the strap. Take the block with the widest part of the block to the inner thighs on either side, so that if you were looking at it, toward you it would look like this. Stick that just below the knees in between the thighs, and then grab your strap, loop it, or just use your belt or anything else to tie around your legs. Send that over the feet and up over the block over the thighs. And then cinch that tight so that you're not holding the block up and you can relax your legs outward into the weight of the strap. Lie on back with your head supported by the hand towel. Just the base of the skull touches to the edge of the hand towel. With the arms open, palms up by your sides, start to walk your feet either back or forward until it feels like there is equal weight in the heels and the front of the feet. There's an even heaviness all the way down the sole of each foot. It might take you some time to figure out where that is for you, especially if you've never done this pose before. And once you figure that out, allow the toes to point straight ahead, and then relax all grip in the legs, especially in the inner thighs. Release all holding and all muscular tension in the legs. And feel how it almost feels like the pelvis is starting to deepen with gravity into the floor, like it's becoming heavier and more dense. You can use the eye pillow here or close your eyes. And do one final check-in in your whole body, ensuring that there is no tension being held in your neck, your shoulders, ribs, hips, knees, and feet. Take a big breath in from the base of your spine and breathe all the way out into the base of the spine. Relax your jaw and the whole face, and simply rest here for some time in silence. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Allow this transition out of the pose to be very mindful and easy. So begin by pressing the soles of the feet into the floor, lifting, curling the toes, just feeling the relationship of the feet to the mat. And then as you open your eyes, start to bend the knees in, reach up and loosen the strap. And once you do that, take the block out from between the legs. And then slip the strap off the legs. Set that to the side. Hug your knees in toward your heart. If that feels comfortable, the knees can separate as well until the whole low back flattens on the floor. And then extend each leg long on the mat. And notice the relationship of your low back toward the floor, the arch, and the feeling in the fronts of the thighs, that relaxation. Maybe a sense of renewal here in the creases of the hips. And we'll slowly bend the knees, reach one arm overhead, and drop to that side, resting on the head as a pillow. And very slowly with your hands, press up, going nice and slow to keep that relaxation present in your body. From here, we'll transition into supported side lying stretch. So remove the hand towel from your mat and grab the blanket underneath you, and we'll fold it up until you have what I call a double square fold. Basically, getting the blanket as tightly and small fold as you possibly can so that two of these may stack at one end of your mat and your head will be elevated as you rest on your side. So we will start with the right hip down to the floor first. You have your stack of two blankets for the side of your head to rest. Now grab both of your bolsters. Take the round bolster and place that across the middle of your mat, widthwise. And then the flat bolster will also come into that space just on the other side. So now that you're in between the bolsters, come to sit on your right hip and extend your right shin forward and bring that bolster underneath you so that you can cradle this left knee. The left knee is at a diagonal, a 45-degree angle, whereas the right knee is more 90 degrees, and the calf is resting against the bolster. Now to come down into the side lying stretch, hold the round bolster close to you, push down into the floor, take an inhale and lengthen, and then exhale and lower, sliding your right arm forward and reaching your head to the blankets. Bring the blankets to you if necessary. Make any readjustments here so that you're truly stacked. Top hip is on top of the bottom hip and top shoulder on top of the bottom shoulder. And then you might choose to rest with your left arm by your side, or for even more opening in the chest, inhale that left arm up overhead and set the palm against the floor. So two options here, whichever feels best for you at this time. Go with the one that serves you and your shoulder. And let's spend some time breathing deep into the rib cage. So close the eyes if it's comfortable. Allow the chin to drop in. Give your body weight over into the props. And then take a deep inhale and feel your ribs expand against the bolster. Deep exhale. Notice how there's space as you completely exhale. Space to soften. Space to stretch. Stretching through passive movement of breath. come out, return your left arm down by your side. And slowly push down into the palm to lift up and rise away from the bolster. We'll come to the opposite side, so all you need to do is turn away from the round bolster and then rearrange the legs in this direction. Hold the bolster up against your waist. Exhale, thread your arm through. Rest your head. And this time, maybe your right arm on your body. Ensure that you're fully stacked with your hips and your shoulders, just like before. Take a few rounds of breath just to settle in, to relax your body weight. Maybe stretching your right arm overhead with the palm against the floor. Maybe keeping it down by your side. Now give all effort over into the ground and stay a while. Transition out very softly, smoothly with the breath. Bringing your right arm down to the floor in front of you. Use an inhale and press up. Coming up sideways, take your time. Turn away from the round bolster. Move the flat bolster off to the side and simply extend your legs. Take a big breath in and a big breath out, feeling any opening that you might feel here in the waist and the rib cage. And then bend into the knees, and we will transition to set up for supported pigeon. So we'll keep the round bolster as it is and take the 2 blankets off the mat. You'll just need one. So grab the one and open it up, and we'll fold it into a big, long rectangle shape. This will provide some padding for your knee and your ankle as we rest in supported pigeon. So you'll take this and place it at the back edge of your mat. Likely some of the blanket will be off the mat like mine is. And then at the other end of the mat, place your flat bolster going lengthwise. There's some space between the flat bolster and the round bolster here. Starting from a table position, step the right foot forward and then heel toe that right foot in between the space and lay the shin bone down. Now you'll hook and hug this round bolster into that just right space in the hips so that the hips feel level and your back knee and your back foot are on the blanket. So allow yourself a little moment of adjustment so that you are fully supported here. And then take the exhale, lower your upper body down. Turn your cheek, in this case, the left cheek to the bolster. Your hands wrap around the front of the bolster. The eyes close. Make any last adjustments so that you're completely comfortable here. You may even need another blanket on top of the bolster for your chest, especially if you feel like you're not able to relax in your shoulders. Soften your jaw. And ensure that your front knee isn't talking to you, that it feels soft. And if it is uncomfortable, you can try the variation here called pinwheel, where you simply bend your back knee at an angle and rest here. That can take a little pressure out of the pelvis. Let's hold this position in stillness and silence. To come out, first slowly lift the head enough so that the forehead can aim down at the bolster. Then open the eyes, walk your hands back, take the next inhale to lift the chest. Keep going, walking back enough to tuck the back toes under, lift your knee, and take your leg back in line with the left table position. You might like a cow here and a cat. Before we move to the other side. So truly take your time to unwind, and then all you'll need to do for the other side is to move your blanket to the other side of your mat. From table, with one knee on the blanket, step your left foot forward, heel toe it over to the side, lay that shin bone down, snug the round bolster into position so that it's fully supporting your pelvis. And exhale, lower at your own pace. Opportunity for the right cheek to come to the bolster. The shoulders to relax by walking the hands forward around the front of the bolster. Make any adjustments here so that you're more comfortable, you're very supported in your pelvis. It feels like an opening, not a deep stretch. And let's take our time here and relax in stillness. Unwind from the pose by returning the forehead to face the mat. Taking a breath in, scoot your hands backward, lift your heart. Curl your back toes under. Lift up enough through that knee so that you can sweep the front leg back. Here we are again with one cow and one cat. Wave-like motions in the spine, tilting the pelvis. As you come out of pigeon pose, we'll set up for the pose that we will use as our final rest, which is supported reclining bound angle. We'll need all the blankets, but we won't need the round bolster. So set that to the side. And keep your eye pillow handy in case you'd like to place this over your eyes or your forehead. And then pull the flat bolster toward you and leave it down here on the mat for now. You could, if it feels more comfortable, use a block underneath the back of the bolster, creating a little bit of a ramp. I'll leave that up to you, however it feels best for your low back. I'm going to choose to use without the block today. Then, let's take all of our blankets. We'll unfold that one that was used for our leg and fold that up very tight, just like we did for the supported side lying stretch. And place that at the back of the bolster. This will be an elevation for your head. Then with the other blankets, open them up to about a wide rectangle shape and just fold over once until we have a rectangle fold blanket. And allow these to come out diagonally on either side of that flat bolster, because these will support the arms. Specifically the elbows and the hands as we rest the arms out to a V. We'll start to turn around and get into position because the next few blankets will be the ones that will support underneath the legs. So bring yourself here with the soles of the feet together and your back to the bolster. Then find your blankets and roll them up really tight. These rolls will go underneath the lower legs and the upper legs so that the knee is lifted and supported. You can see how it's not necessary to place the blanket under the knee. You can really add a lot of height here and softness to your hips so that you can receive gentle opening instead of an extreme stretch. Do the exact same thing with your other blanket, just rolling it up and place it underneath the shin area and the upper thigh. And once you're satisfied with that feeling that's starting to materialize in the legs, notice if you need to move your feet forward or closer so that there's no strain, because we're gonna come on down. So use your hands to slowly lower onto the flat bolster. Elbows rest on the blankets. The palms are face up or maybe face down if that feels better for you. And completely relax into the legs. Either choose to close the eyes or place the eye pillow now. And as you let your body melt into the props, feel the opening across your chest, the soothing feeling that's starting to arrive in the belly by noticing the wave of your breath in and out. Doing nothing. Let this pose carry you home to a space where there is no tightness or tension, only ease. I'll keep time for you. Just relax. Very slowly, travel your awareness into your toes, the soles of the feet, ankles, knees, hips. Feel both legs together, heavy and relaxed. And start to make little movements into the toes, as well as the fingers. Bringing yourself back into this space more fully through movement. One at a time, using your hands, encourage the legs to lift up, feet flat, and then spread the legs forward on the floor, in between the blankets. Open the eyes here, coming back into the room. Place the palms downward and inhale, lift up. Take as much time as you need to arrive in a comfortable seat. Maybe a cross-legged seat so that you can see how the hips feel, not through force, but through allowing and receiving relaxation. Take the hands together in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. Close the eyes here if it's comfortable. A moment of gratitude for this practice, this moment of radical self-care, taking time to do less and heal aches and pains. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this practice, it means a lot when you give this video a thumbs up, and I love to hear about your experience, so share it with me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get the latest restorative yoga videos as I post them, and I will see you in the next one. Namaste.